Okay. Okay. I need someone to confirm to me that um the music is low enough. Okay. Let's see. 1 second. Well, I guess I could kind of confirm it myself, huh? Do 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 do. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. One. Okay. Okay. I'm loud enough. That's just me in the chat. Alright. I won't waste too much time. Let me post that I'm live now. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Do. Oh man. Here we go. Okay. Maybe I need to turn down the music just a little bit because they've been trying to get me. There we go. Okay. Here we go. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Wow. Okay, yeah, that was just me in the chat. In the chat. Oh crap. Okay. Boom. I got the answer to that. Let's see. Okay. Almost done. Okay. There we go. Okay. Figuring this out as I go. 1 second. Okay. You know, I'm kind of okay if nobody gets on for this one. But I know there are some people that probably want to hear. 1 sec. No. I don't want to let too much silence go in between, so I'm just probably gonna start making random noises. So just hang in there with me. Let's see. Like I said, I'm kind of okay if nobody comes on this one, but I keep bumping against the mic. I don't know how well the setup is. I also tried to, you know what? I'm playing with myself because I hear in all my surroundings. I also tried to put myself on video. However, what had happened was something's going on with my computer to where I can't pull up the video. So I'm gonna try on my laptop next time. We will definitely have a video going. Hopefully. I'm gonna give it maybe 2 more minutes, a couple more minutes. You know, for people who I'm sending the link to, hopefully they'll come on And if they don't, it's okay. It's a live stream. You can always go back and rewatch it. But a little bit of an update. So what's been going on is I have moved. I have been moving around, working, and things like that. So that's why I have not been on Tea and Juice for um, a month, really, almost 2 months at this point. But I knew I had to go ahead and get on. And then, I'm doing this without a proper intro, but I just thought I'd give, a little update. Um, I keep saying and it's very annoying because I can hear myself keep saying. But um, talk louder. Can you hear me better? I'm right on the mic. That's so sad. Can you hear me now? Sometimes I move my head to the right and turn away from the mic, so that might be what happened. Let me move this mic so it's. Oh, I hope that's not making bad feedback for y'all. What was I saying? What's I saying? Oh, I did a poll on Facebook and Instagram on two topics that I wanted to talk about because I was trying to gauge what type of topics that you guys like. There were topics that I like a little bit better. Okay, hang on 1 second. Well, I'm gonna turn this music off for like 2 seconds. Hold on. Okay, does that sound better? Does that sound better? See. Okay. So, like I was saying, I did a poll to see what topics y'all wanted me to talk about. So, I picked a serious one, and then I picked a not so serious one just to see what type of topics that we like to talk about. The topic that was picked for today, or let me give you the two options, and then I'll get into my own intro. I don't have like a theme song or anything, but um, the two topics were insecurities versus the book writing topic. No, the book writing process. And I may do that one next week. What's the saying? I may do the book writing process next week because that's something that I'm thinking about getting into again. So maybe it'll spur up something for me to write again. I don't know. But y'all picked this topic, and it was insecurities, which I love to talk about things like this. But coming from the stance of somebody who likes this because I wanted to be a psychologist, so kind of getting into uncomfortable topics about the mind and how the mind works, and maybe I'll get into that more another day. But things like this, I kind of view from a neutral stance for the most part because it's just understanding, people and understanding how they are. That's why I wanted to, study psychology. But this one will be a little bit more on the personal side of this live stream, and I'll get into more of why I'm doing something like this and being a little bit more vulnerable and open. But one of the reasons that I'm doing this topic, I chose this topic specifically because what this topic entails, which is insecurities. So anyway, without further ado, I will get right into it. What's up, you guys? Welcome to Tea and Juice. This is Juice. This is a solo episode, solo live, whatever you want to call it. And I am here to talk to you guys about a topic that I love, which kind of goes into personal stuff, which I'm more than okay with being open. And the topic that you guys chose today is insecurities. So, to get right into it, I actually got some notes because I just didn't want to come on here and, spew what my thoughts are. There's like an actual definition of what insecurities are, and then I will get into my own insecurities, and then that'll lead into other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So, without further ado, when I thought about doing this topic of insecurities, sometimes your mind goes to what insecurities you have, but you don't really know the definition of what an insecurity is. So, I looked up the definition of insecurity, and it is an uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, a lack of confidence, which, once you think about it, it's kind of self-explanatory, but sometimes you have to look at the definition of words. And I'm just going to go through all the information that I found, well, some of it at least. So, get right into it so we can get into minds. The root cause of all insecurities is fear, which makes sense, right? Like when you go out and you have maybe social anxiety, you're scared to talk to people, you're scared to be around a big group of people, so that makes sense, right? Insecurities may come from a traumatic event, something that results from one's it's one's environment, something that causes you stress, to cause you to be upset in your daily lives. It makes it hard for you to do things in your daily lives as well. So, there's some of these. I went through a list of what causes insecurities, or if you break down what insecurities are, it's a lack of self-confidence. It's a lack of trust and faith in yourself. A lack of ability to accept, fear from past experience, fear of failure. So, with going over those really quick, I will go into my own insecurities. So, we will start with this live. This live, actually, not just this live, but having my own channel, a YouTube channel, is something that I never thought I would have. Because I suffer from the insecurity, and a lot of us do, the fear of failing. So that's why I never did anything like this before. So I am working on one of my insecurities and doing this show, doing topics like this, because I could just go for a really fun topic. However, I thought a more serious one would be maybe a little bit more interesting. Sorry. It's something that I really like. Like I said before, I like psychology. I wanted to be a psychologist. So I like to learn how the mind works and how people work and their behavioral activity and things like that. So this topic hits home for me because I took a psychology class. I have a psychology book. Sometimes I just look up random things, watch YouTube videos about psychology, and I had to sit here and think of all the insecurities that I have, and I'll break them down slowly because it's not a lot, but it's a lot. Does that make sense? But so, like I said, fear of mine is failure. Doing this YouTube channel is really pushing me outside the box, outside my comfort zone, and I have to thank T for helping me do this, pushing me out of my comfort zone, helping me to grow and to evolve as a person. Because if you had asked me almost 3 years ago if I would have a YouTube channel talking about my own insecurities, I would have laughed so hard. Because even with my book writing process, being an author, I did that on a website, on an app that was anonymous but not anonymous. It's like I could make up my name, I could write whatever I wanted to write, and it's not like a whole lot of views are gonna come. So I was comfortable in people not knowing, like, the creative stuff that I was doing, like the things that I like to do for fun. So what had happened was, what has stopped me in one of my own insecurities of failing in writing a book is one of the books that I had wrote kind of blew up for its time on that app. It got 14,000 reads, and I was getting people messaging me, telling me that they liked the book, telling me that, to keep writing. And this is just in high school. I was 16 when I wrote this book. And I've collaborated with other authors whose books are, becoming big, I think. I don't know if one of the author's books is on Amazon right now, but her book went on to be pretty big, and I cannot remember her name to save my life, but she was so awesome to work with. But with that being said, and the success of the book made me nervous because it got harder and harder to write to write a chapter, because they were telling me how good it was, how great the book was, to keep writing, and things like that. Those are all positive things, but insecurities, I mean, sometimes you don't listen to all the positive things. What it started to sound like to me is it had to be at a certain level. Like it was no longer fun for me. So I was writing a chapter, and I think I wrote the last chapter but never published it. I wrote it about 4 times. I kept editing it. It wasn't seeming right. It didn't sound right. The English didn't, it's like I was so hard on myself. And what I did, and it's one of my regrets as an author, is I deleted my book. I deleted it, can't get it back, it's gone. And then I went back to being comfortable. Then after that, I couldn't write another book after that. I just couldn't, because it's like, what if that one blows up? What if I get writer's block again? That fear and anxiety that came from the research that I was talking about earlier, that's what stopped me from doing that. So yeah, that stopped me from writing books. Let's see. For about 4 years. I haven't wrote a book in 4 years. I've tried, I've done rough drafts, I've published one, but it only had 1 chapter, so I just deleted it. I've encouraged other people to write books. I will help other people write books. It keep going. I got positive critiques as someone who loves to read and as an author, and that's as far as I'll go. But what this has done for me in doing these tea and juice episodes by myself is pushing me to go back and write again. Now, when I was in high school, I wrote about high school stuff. Now that I'm adult, it's like, there's different levels, It's kind of hard in that sense, but I have to remember that these are made up characters. They don't have to be based off my life, because that's kind of what I based my books off of, things that were happening around me. Not necessarily my life, but in observing my high school, the way that people talked, the way that people did things, that's where I got my inspiration from. So anytime that I would write, it would be, about the people around me. And I'm totally going to what I said I might talk about next week. But anyway, we'll move on to the next one. So this one is still one that I'm facing, along with the one I was just talking about. I always wanted to be a mom, but like once you find out that you're having a child, it's kind of something different. It's like you're scared that you may fail, that you won't raise them right, and like it's an unhealthy amount of fear and anxiety that comes with it. But from what I've learned from observing the women around me, thinking about my own mom, thinking about the my mother-in-law, and just the moms around me, I've realized there's no blueprint to it. There's no handbook that tells you exactly how to deal with the child. Well, there is, but that's another topic. Um, but she's her own little person, and I've just learned that most parents are learning on the fly. So it's not really the biggest of deals to me anymore, but it was a big one for a long time. Um, okay, I'll move on to the next one because, like I said, that one's not really a big deal to me anymore. For the longest, and it's still going on right now, but I'm working on it, is body image, which is a big topic nowadays on social media. I forgot what term that they use, just because I didn't look up the definition of it. I know what the word is, but I don't want to say it, and I have to go on Google it, and it's just a long period of silence. But anyway, but it's not for like my size or anything, because I was relatively small for the most part, and until I hit high school. I didn't really get that big. I gained like 10 pounds, maybe 10, 15 pounds. But, you know, one thing that I used to be very insecure about is I didn't grow up wearing makeup, or a lot of makeup at that. I actually didn't wear makeup until I was, I'd say, a sophomore, maybe a freshman. And it's just because I think my mom wanted, no, I know my mom wanted me to embrace who I am naturally. I also, didn't wear makeup. I only wore makeup like twice. And I mean like a full face. Like one in freshman year, my mom let me experiment, and then one for my senior prom. That's the only time I've really just wore a face full of makeup. And I would see girls around school, and even to this day, they wear a lot of makeup, and it looks really pretty. It looks, very put together, and it's a skill first and foremost. To anybody that can do makeup, it's a skill. I tried to do it, and it's not that I can't, it's just in embracing my natural beauty, it just seems like a lot of work to put on makeup. But it's something that I felt weird about for the longest. And that goes also into my next topic. Well, not topic, but my next point to go along with not wearing a lot of makeup. The only thing I really got done is my hair. I didn't get my nails done until like senior year. It's the first time I got my nails done. Also, I didn't wear a lot of girly clothes, but it's not because I didn't want to. It's just that we couldn't afford to. So, like, I have like a tomboy-ish style, though I would like to dress girlier, but I'm kind of stuck in my ways at the moment. And that's just something I'm going to work on, because it's not like the biggest of deal where I have to dress girly, but it's like you feel like you've missed out on an experience, because you hear the girls talk about how they get their nails done all the time, they get their hair done, they do a face full of makeup, they wear dresses and heels and things like that. And as I'm getting to evolve and know myself as a person, I know that I don't need the full face of makeup. I know that I don't need all the girly outfits and my hair done and my nails did. But it's something that plagues me occasionally, because I'm like, should I have my hair done all the time? Should my nails be done all the time? Should I have a face full of makeup? Should I dress like this? But it's just something that came from my childhood. Like I'm learning to embrace myself. I'm learning to embrace who I am. So, but it pops up, when you go out, when me and T go out sometimes, and you see other couples and they're all well put together, And sometimes T is well put together. He's not. He's usually in basketball shorts and a tee. But when he puts himself together, then there's me, and then I go look in my dresser, my closet, or something to look for something to look nice, and I can't seem to find anything to look like, to dress like where I'm about to go. Does that make sense? It's like it only bothers me when I go out. If I stay at home all the time, like we have really been for the past 2 years, it doesn't bother me. But when I go outside, it's like I don't look like other girls. But that is something I'm sure at some point will stop bothering me, that I won't think about as I grow older. But as for right now, it's something that I have. It bothers me. Um, Another thing that I'm gonna put myself out there is like a lack of experience in life. Um, like I said, there's a lot of experiences that because of the way that I grew up, I didn't get to experience. Oh wow, I'm really gonna put myself out there, but I didn't have the best father. So when it comes to seeing people with their dads, really cool, and I love to see it, but I can't relate to it, and it makes me feel weird. You know, it's like I love to see it. Even with T and my little one, our little one, to see the way that he is with her, it's amazing, and it's something that I want her to experience because I didn't get to experience that. So there's just that's an experience that makes me feel weird because when people ask me about my dad, I got two options: my biological dad or my stepdad. But now that I'm with T, I have my father-in-law. So, and being around him, it's kind of like I'm learning, experiencing what it's like to kind of have more of a hands-on father. And I don't know if he's listening, but Pops, I love you. And when T one time he set us up to do something together, and he was like, "So what y'all gonna do?" I said, "I have no idea what you do with your dad. I have no idea." Um, so I just did only what I knew to do, and that's to go out and get something to eat. That's something my family always did. If we just didn't know what to do together, we just went out and got something to eat. So that's what I did. Um, Also, a lack of experience in, you know, running a household. Like I used to stay with my family and stuff, mainly because some of them needed help. Um, Mainly because I just couldn't afford, my own spot, just because where I lived there wasn't a lot of jobs that just paid a whole lot, so it was a little bit harder to hit the ground running, so to speak. Um, but that's something that plagues me sometimes. It's something that bothers me. But it's okay. It's something that I've just accepted. I'm learning. I'm learning. But another thing that bothered me, and I won't really get into this one because it's kind of self-explanatory. A lack of dating experience. It used to bother me, didn't bother me, and then it didn't bother me. As I got older, I think when I was in high school, it used to bother me because one, it was like your friends had their boyfriends and everybody's dating and stuff like that, and I just wasn't into that at the moment. I had other things that I wanted to do. I had other goals, and I just wasn't. I wasn't thinking about dating anyone. And then, when I met T, it was very. Well, I met T earlier, but what happened between us as we started to like each other was very organic. It wasn't forced. It wasn't I have to date him or I have to be around him. We started off as friends. We got to know each other, and I think I liked him first. I can't remember because you know what? I think if he liked me first, I'm not sure he would admit it. You know. So I would just say I liked him first. And it was months after, we were friends, and then that happened. But he's well, is the only person that I really just dated. Um, and at first I was like, well, maybe I should have. Then as I thought about it, and this is no longer insecurity, but I really needed to make a list because as I'm growing older, being around experienced people, learning from people who are helping me so I don't have to learn this the hard way, it's not that big of a deal. Um, like, he's the only person that I dated, and I'm kind of proud of that. And it's just for me. I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but that's just for me because I kind of knew what I wanted. He was what I wanted. I got it. Proud of myself. Um, Another thing that I just thought of that I didn't put on the list. One of my insecurities or something that bothers me, and I'll just say something that bothers me because I kind of encompass the two for my personal self, is the not hitting all my goals that I wanted to hit. I was and am still a very ambitious person. Um, I was learning 3 languages at once, 2 at school and 1 at home. Um, so every language that I learned I am very invested in those types of things. I was learning Korean, Choctaw, and Spanish all at the same time. Um, there's even one time that I was writing notes in math class, and because I was learning all those languages, I could not, for the life of me, remember how to spell. Wow, how to spell two, as in the number 2. And I'm sitting there, and the only language that is coming up in my head is Choctaw. So in my math notes, I had to write a sentence out in Choctaw, like the word and stuff out in Choctaw, because I could not remember English. That's how heavily invested I was into learning those types of things. I love to learn those types of things. I spent all day. I wouldn't even say, I used to say 6 hours, but it's probably more, all day learning Korean. My Spanish teacher used to get upset with me because instead of really paying attention in Spanish, I was on my phone learning Korean, writing notes. In my biology class, I used to write my name is in Korean on my papers. And one time my biology teacher was like, she asked me what that was, and I explained to her what it was, and she thought it was pretty cool. So from then on, I would just turn in my papers like that, and that scared me at first because I'm like, she probably not gonna be interested in that. But that was pretty cool to see somebody take kind of an interest in what I had going. I had sticky notes plastered all across the house, but with that backstory, there's a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish in a language field. Like, I wanted to go to college, learn the language, and then go teach that language or go to that country and teach English. That's how big my goals were. And for that not to happen, it really bothered me. Yeah, it just bothered, and it still bothers me to this day sometimes because that's just something that I wanted to do so bad. It was to learn the language, then maybe go teach it in school or go teach it in another country and go to another country and travel the world. And I know that kind of sounds like a little bit of what, some younger people like to do anyway, but and I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, mine was to learn a culture, a language, like, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, but to put myself in that country, to learn about the people, to learn the culture, to just be part of that, not nation, but to be just in there, I know that's a funny term to use, but just in there, to just get all the experience that I can. I also wanted to go to culinary arts school. I also wanted to go to college for psychology. I took a psychology class when I was in high school, and it was the best thing. It was pretty awesome. Besides doing the homework and the essays and all that stuff, that was hard. That was so hard. But yeah, that's some of the insecurities that I have. But I didn't come all this way to sit here and talk about my insecurities without finding like solutions, how to get, not get rid of them, but how to cope with them. And then at some point they'll go away. So, here are some of the things that I found and that I also found in my own, you know, experiencing life, that this is how you can overcome and to cope with them. So, the list of things they have are confronting your feelings rather than avoid them, which is really, really, really hard. I'm sure everybody can relate to that one. Have a growth mindset and set solid goals. So that's something that I'm working on right now. Setting solid goals. Prepare yourself for setbacks, but don't let them control you. Very, very, very true. That's something that I learned the hard way, because I used to, whenever I'd fail, it would hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, not going to those countries, not finishing learning the language. Oh, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I didn't want to look at any more material to learn. I didn't want to look at the country. Like, I felt like I, just failed. I just couldn't do anything. So that's a big one. Prepare yourself for setbacks, but don't let them control you. Embrace all of your characteristics and passions. To challenge your negative thoughts and think critically. To surround yourself with positive and encouraging people. Listen to other stories about overcoming their insecurities. Try new things that make you happy. Let go of people and situations that fuel your insecurities. And be proud of your progress no matter how big or how small it is. I love all those because, like I said, one of my insecurities was not wearing a whole lot of makeup and comparing myself to other people. So what I did was I went on social media, and like I said, just none of, like, these are big Instagram people, celebrities, XYZ, and because when I would look at those, I would feel bad for not doing the same thing that they're doing. I just started unfollowing people. I did that, and you know what? That brought me peace of mind, because now I don't see all that on my timeline. And it I don't know what it did, but it was good for my mental health. I'll just say it like that. Also on Facebook, I did the same thing. Snapchat. I don't really know how many people use Snapchat anymore, but I also started doing other things that bring me joy. I used to not read. I stopped reading for a little while just because because I write myself. I can't read a bad book. I just can't do it. So I just kind of skipped reading, but I'm getting back into it. Also playing the keyboard. I learned that in school. Taking pictures. T got me a great camera that I need to go outside and take pictures with, or practice with at least. And doing tea and juice is going to be the biggest thing. Tea and juice is what's going to help me grow as a person. I truly believe that. That's why I'm making such an effort to do it, in an effort to help me articulate my thoughts, because I'm not good at that, and I don't know how well I've done on this episode or this live, but I'm not very good at articulating my thoughts. I'm not very good at expressing myself sometimes, unless I'm just super passionate about something. But that's why this is so important to me. That's why tea and juice is not more important than some things, but it's getting up there. This is where I want y'all to see me grow as a person. I don't ever go back and listen to the other tea and juice streams, but it's just because I don't like the sound of my own voice. But I'll just have to get over that. you know. But yeah, that's it. And like I said, there's so many ways to overcome them. Um, shoot, I might even post my notes on Facebook for you guys to kind of see what I was talking about today. But yeah, this is it. I don't know how to end that episode or this stream other than to just say, you got it. Setbacks are gonna happen. Everything's gonna be okay. Uh, thank you, Double M. So with that being said, this is coming to an end. Is there any topics that or things y'all would like me to talk about? Something, I kind of like this. This was interesting. I like the way that I like the way this went down. So just you can always hit me up on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you guys. Y'all can always hit me up on Instagram, Facebook. Just tell me what you guys want me to talk about. If I don't get anything by next week, I'm talking about the book writing process. That's just something like I'm embracing the things that I like now. So, but just because you know, yeah, like if y'all bring me a topic, I'll talk about it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna forget that I'm gonna talk about the book writing process. But anyway, with that being said, this is the end. Thank you to everybody that listened, and if you didn't get to watch it live, to anybody who's gonna sit back and listen to this again. So, my beautiful mother-in-law gave me a great closing. However, I am not charismatic enough to do it with pizzazz. So, I'm going to say and then I'm going to quickly end the stream because it's going to be so awkward and I'm going to cringe so hard. But with that being said, this is the Tea with Juice. Love you guys. I'll talk to you.